I was saying, y'all, but Rico from StreetScores. I know I'm a little late, but as promised, we're here to break down that boy Gabe Taylor, man. Sean Taylor's brother has been invited to the rookie minicamp. I do want to emphasize, though, not signed yet, but he will be at the rookie minicamp where he'll get a chance to show the Commanders that he deserves to be signed. And speaking of that, of course, we're here to dive into it. Is this guy actually good? Or is this just a situation where we're just bringing him on and inviting him just because he's Sean Taylor's brother? Or does he actually deserve this real shot? I want to break down why he went undrafted, but why at the same time he may have a real chance to make this roster. We're here to dive into his film. I have a lot of advanced stats as well. We're going to analyze all of that. But before we get into everything, and I have a trivia question for you. What defensive back was the Commanders' second-round pick in the 2023 NFL Draft? We know that one. That's crazy. But hey, I'll give you the answer at the end of the video anyway. Make sure you stiff arm that like button, stiff arm the subscription button, and stiff arm the bell next to that subscription button so you get notification each and every time I release an informative and opinionated video just like this one. Make sure you stay tuned to all of the content. Really appreciate y'all for supporting every video and all of that type of stuff, man. Y'all are the GOATs. Man, make sure y'all stay tuned. Make sure you leave a like on the way out and everything. And let's go ahead and get to this video right now, man. I'm probably going to do another video even before I go to sleep tonight that may come out early tomorrow morning as well. So stay tuned. Let's go. Adam. And whoa, before we get into anything, man, you already know, man, if y'all donate to the Cash App, while I'm not even live streaming, y'all just want to show support randomly out of nowhere, man, I feel like the very least I can do is thank y'all in my very next video that I upload. So shouts out to my boy Terrence for the big time donation to the Cash App, man. He also gave the compliment and said, great content, man. Really appreciate you, man. Thank you for that. And also shouts out to my boy Dre, because he's not playing. That boy is on my head about getting this Javon Kinlaw video. So thank you for the donation. Thank you for the reminder, man. Please keep calling me out on that. I'm working on it. I just want to get a lot of this other stuff out the way. I still want to get these undrafted free agents to y'all. I want to break all of those down. I want to do my draft review. I want to tell y'all how everybody, all of the experts felt about our draft and a couple other videos. And then I promise you, we are definitely doing this Javon Kinlaw video before training camp. And I also want to start getting the film sessions for all of our draft picks as well. That's exclusive to channel members. But either way, again, stay on my head about the Javon Kinlaw. It's my fault I haven't done the video yet, so y'all can keep bugging me about it every time. Please stay on me, man. I love accountability, man. And of course, he said that you are the best as well, as in StreetScores. So man, I really appreciate the compliment as well, and thank you for the donation especially. Thank you again to Terrence and Dre. Now let's dive into that boy Gabe Taylor, man. All right, so Gabe Taylor, of course, the younger brother of the late Sean Taylor, will attend the Commanders rookie minicamp on a tryout. The first time I saw it announced and reported was from Seawall Sports. She said safety Gabe Taylor, younger brother of Washington football great Sean Taylor, will attend the Commanders rookie minicamp per his agent at agent TABESQ. And she also added at I am Gabe Taylor and at 007THH, just in case you know any type of forms of contact that you want to get in with Gabe Taylor. Those are some forms of contact. And of course, in 2021, the franchise retired Sean Taylor's number 21 jersey, with the entire Taylor family in attendance for the ceremony. Now, Gabe, who made the trip to Landover, Maryland that afternoon, can continue the family legacy with the same organization. On Sunday night, the Washington Commanders extended a rookie minicamp invite to the Rice Strong safety. And then shouts out to Nikki Javala. She even pointed out the fact that after receiving multiple offers from other teams, Gabe Taylor decided to choose to go to the Commanders rookie mini camp specifically. Like, he turned down some of the offers, or maybe he was like, wait a minute, let me get to this Commanders rookie mini camp, and then if they don't pick me up, you know, I'll hit y'all back up. But that's my focus. That's my primary option right there. I really want to be on the burgundy and gold to continue my brother's legacy. I felt like that was a really cool, important detail. You know what I'm saying? The fact that, first of all, other teams are interested. So that shows he's not just this terrible player that some people act like he is. Again, we're going to dive into it. I watched some real film on him. I have some advanced stats for you. We're going to do a real serious deep dive into how good he actually is. And I feel like some people are probably overrating him just a little bit just off of the fact that he's Sean Taylor's brother. But I also feel like there's a lot of people out there that are strongly underrating this guy and acting like he can't play at all. A lot of people don't even know like the stats he put up at Rice, which are actually really ridiculous. His only problem is that he's undersized. Again, we're going to get to that later. But I'm really excited, man. Again, that also means that other teams are interested in him. And he's basically saying, nah, I mean, that's cool and all, but I want to play in the burgundy and gold. And then, of course, since his brother's numbers retired, he wouldn't be able to wear the number 21, but that's still really cool. And also, I do want to point out the fact that he's the former teammate of 2024 third-round pick wide receiver Luke McCaffrey. They were both at Rice in 2023 together, and hey man, I'm pretty sure Luke McCaffrey also vouched for him as well, on top of the fact that I'm pretty sure the Commanders are well aware of how much Gabe Taylor wanted to be invited to the rookie minicamp and his work ethic and everything like that. So let's get it. And then also, just to let you know, the rookie minicamp specifically will be the second weekend of May. If you look on the screen right now, here's our off-season workout program dates that were literally just announced today. So I'm happy that like I waited a couple of days because I've been working on this, but other things kept happening. The stadium news, whatever, all of the type of stuff that was going on. And then now I have like all of the official specific dates on when everything is happening. So OTA off-season workouts are May 28th, May 30th, June 3rd and 4th, and June 6th. Mandatory minicamp is June 10 through 12. And then rookie minicamp specifically, as far as like we're talking about Gabe Taylor, when will he be with the Commanders and showing them what he can do? That's May 9th through 10th. Again, the second weekend of May. And just to warn you, after that mandatory minicamp that ends June 12th, boy, it is an ugly dead period of really nothing going on in football until well into July. Just to go ahead and give y'all that heads up. Now, y'all know me, man. I have so many ideas. I'm always going to be hitting y'all with content almost every day, even throughout that dead period, because that's literally the time when players are supposed to go on vacation with their families, because football is almost year-round. If there were one period where you would say, okay, football is actually everybody's taking a hiatus, it's that mid-June to like early mid-July period. That is the most nothing going on period in football, just to give y'all a heads up. Now let's get back to Gabe Taylor. Shouts out to Warren Sharp, because this got on everybody's list. This was pretty big news. Like even guys like Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero, Adam Schefter took notice of this, and Warren Sharp even tweeted, "This is awesome. Seems like every time you turn around, the Commanders front office and ownership is doing something the right way. Not sure if what they're doing is truly extraordinary, or it just seems that way because the prior ownership was a callous jerk. Either way, very cool. Shouts out to the Commanders." And I do feel like, first of all, this guy has enough talent to where he definitely deserves a rookie minicamp invite, but I also feel like the Commanders are doing right by him to make sure that he was invited. I love that. They didn't sign him. I really want to emphasize that, and I'm going to emphasize that again later. He's not signed to the Commanders as an undrafted free agent, but at least they gave him the invite. We'll see what he does at the rookie minicamp. I mean, that's plenty of opportunity. He has 2 days to show them, hey, man, at least bring me along this 90-man roster throughout the offseason, man. You need to get rid of somebody to add me onto the roster. That's what he's going there to prove. So I hope he goes there and balls out. I hope he goes crazy. I hope he has the best rookie minicamp of any player at the rookie minicamp, and then they have no choice but to add him onto the roster, and again, to cut somebody to do so. And then a shout out to DC Sports XP on Twitter as well. He said Sean Taylor's brother getting invited to the rookie minicamp with the Commanders is next level awesome. I completely agree. It's one of those things that really warms your heart, because it's crazy. There was like a story, and I'm guessing it was fake, but like there was like a report that like the Eagles signed him as an undrafted free agent, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit sad, like, oh man, we didn't even get the chance or something like that. So it's really cool that that was apparently fake, and the fact that he's going to be there, I can't wait, man. Now, of course, some people are gonna, do too much, and like my boy Rio Robinson said, people may make it a little weird, but shouts out to Resh Manuel, because he said he worries about that too, just generally, just it being uncomfortable for him. But I'm wishing for a very enjoyable and positive learning experience, whatever the ultimate end result is. I agree, and hopefully he just, best case scenario for everybody, he earns his spot. But, I mean, hey, if for some crazy reason he leaves rookie minicamp and they don't sign him, I could see this getting a little weird amongst the fan base. I hope it doesn't. I just really hope he goes there, balls out, end of story, makes the roster. And, again, we're going to dive into later in this video why I feel like he has not only a shot to make the 90-man, but hey, maybe even practice squad or a 53-man roster spot. We'll get there. Shouts out to Lake Lewis, too. He said, I spoke with Gabe Taylor, the younger brother of Sean Taylor, last night, and he said that on the 27th, so he's talking about the 26th. Today, he accepted an invite from the Commanders as an undrafted free agent. He had many offers, but ultimately chose the place his brother called home. And it's crazy too because you can do multiple camp invites. Like Colin Schlee, most recently from Virginia Tech, but probably most well known from UCLA. I already did a full video breakdown on him, specifically how he's trying to make a transition from quarterback to running back or wide receiver at the NFL level, if you haven't checked that out. But he's accepting a rookie minicamp invite from the Commanders and the Ravens. So I'm shocked that Gabe Taylor, potentially had other invites, but he only wants to go to the Commanders. Hey, all eggs in one basket. If you don't have a plan B, that means you're going to work even harder for plan A. And again, I hope everything works out perfectly. I hope he kills it, man. Now let's dive into Gabe Taylor's history and stats, because is he actually good? I want to dive into his tape and all of that. Well, again, Gabe Taylor played at Rice University, where he started for multiple seasons. He had his best season in 2024, though. This most recent season, he really took a jump in not only just like actual play, and like not only was he just a better player, but even his stats were better. His production was better. He led the Rice Owls with 57 tackles and 3 interceptions, and also recorded 10 passes defense and 3 sacks and 7 tackles for losses, man. He was literally everywhere on the field, like a Swiss Army knife that was good at everything you needed him to do. Now, Taylor earned second team All ACC honors as well, 1 year after being named an honorable mention at All ACC. So he improved as far as like even getting recognition from the ACC committee as well, because he deserved it. He earned that. Second team All ACC is not something to just scoff at and ignore. And then also, even though he wasn't invited to the NFL Scouting Combine, he graded very well at Rice's Pro Day with some of the things he did. Like he ran his second 40 time was a 4.55, but originally, apparently he ran like a 4.38 to a 4.4 as like the raw time. So I'm just going to count it as a 4.38, best case scenario, because that's what people do at their pro days. As a Georgia Bulldog fan, we're going to pick the best 40 time for you. That's the one that everybody's going to get as the full announcement. That's what every college does. Alabama, Ohio State, all of them. So I feel like he deserves that same benefit of the doubt. The quickest 40 time that I saw thrown out there was a 4.38 to a 4.44. I know, again, the second time he ran it was a 4.55, but I'm going to go with that 4.38. Maybe it's because I'm rooting for him, but also, again, every college does that. So it's not like just we're doing this for Gabe Taylor because he's Sean Taylor's brother and I want him to make the roster. That's what everybody does. He also had an undeniable 10-yard split. This one's elite no matter which way you look at it. No excuses provided, nothing, with a 1.41 10-yard split. That's actually really good. He also had a 36-inch vertical, which is solid. That's good. And a 6.99 second 3-cone time, which is also pretty good. So that's showing his explosiveness and his agility as well. I mean, if you take a look on the screen right now, here's his relative athletic score. And literally, the only thing holding him back is his lack of size, like I alluded to earlier, and we're going to dive into that a little bit more throughout this video, but it's literally his lack of size that's preventing him from, probably even being a draftable player, man. Like, he would probably have gone in the draft if he wasn't just 5'8", 188 pounds. And then also he only bench pressed 13, but he looks stronger than that on tape. Like, he's a pretty good tackler on tape, so I'm not really worried about that. And even then, a 5.83 relative athletic score is not really bad, especially when you account for the fact that his size is the reason that it's skewing that far into the negative. And we're going to get to that later, because I want to do a hypothetical of, okay, what if he was the exact same player, put up the exact same production, had the exact same tape and everything like that, same traits, but he was just a little taller and a little heavier? What would his relative athletic score be? And you'll probably be surprised of how much he looks like an athletic freak once you just literally make him a bigger guy with the exact same testing and things like that. So we'll get to that later, but I really want to dive into like his real tape and these advanced stats. How good is he actually for real? We talked about the athleticism. Again, don't just I don't say ignore the relative athletic score, but just the fact that he's so small, you got to think about the fact that that's skewing his overall number down a little bit. But like on the field wise, he's a better athlete than what you would think when you hear he only has a 5.83 relative athletic score, is what I mean. And then shouts out to Ryan Cooley for pointing out the fact that Gabe Taylor's coverage grade of 87 in 2024 was ranked 24th best out of 198 safeties. Better than a lot of safeties that were drafted before him. And then his overall grade of an 82.5 also ranked 24th out of all safeties in all of college football last year. And that's a pretty good player. That sounds like a draftable guy. Pro Football Focus, the way that they graded him, feel like he definitely should have been drafted at the very least. And we could even debate about which round it should have been, but at worst, drafted. And then Gabe Taylor even saw this tweet, shouts out to him, and quote tweeted it and emphasized, actually, I ended with an 89.5. It kept going down for no reason when we didn't make it to the bowl game. And he's like, that has nothing to do with me. It's not even like I played on the field. So honestly, I had a higher grade than Pro Football Focus even gave me credit for. So shouts out to him for even making sure that he knows people are aware of that. And then also shouts out to Alec Carrozza of Steelers Depot, because he did a full breakdown of his tape. He has like all 22 film and everything in the tape and showing you highlights of like, hey man, this guy can play. And his overall conclusion was Gabe Taylor shouldn't just be known for being Sean Taylor's brother. Gabriel can play in his own right and put together a fun highlight reel of impact plays. While he's ticketed for nickel duties at the NFL level, that's a starting position in today's NFL, and that's a good point, man. You know, maybe 20 years ago, a slot corner, a nickel corner wasn't necessarily a starter. You know, you were probably getting the game every now and then, but now a guy like Mike Sanverstill, who's a nickel corner, will be out there as much as starting outside corners. Just as much or around just as much, and maybe, depending on who it is, even more. And also, he said, to have consistent college experience playing along the interior makes him an easier NFL projection than an outside corner kicking inside for the first time. I think that's a good point as well. You know, when you're talking about, okay, this outside corner, you're projecting him to be a slot corner because maybe he can't handle being outside at the next level. I would prefer a guy like Gabe Taylor that's been in the box around the whole time. He wasn't specifically a nickel corner, but he was a strong safety. He was always around the box somewhere, and then that projects better for slot corner than a guy trying to transition from outside corner that just simply can't handle it. So I think that's a great point as well. And then Taylor isn't getting much buzz right now, but his tape is good and draftable. Still, he'll need to start on special teams and make his name there first, and his NFL comp for him is Darnay Holmes, who is a guy that went in the 4th round of the 2020 draft, 110th overall. So that's really interesting. And then you also have NFL draft diamonds. They listed his strengths: very quick and athletic. With him being a former basketball player, you could definitely see that. You could tell he was a former basketball player when you're watching his tape. He also has great ball tracking ability and long arms to get in between the ball. I like that a lot. Those are very playable traits right there on Sundays. And he has great closing speed on the ball. That's also a really important trait to have, and a lot of guys don't have that. And that's something that's, you know, fairly hard to teach as well. And the fact that he already has that built in, definitely a plus for him. But the weaknesses: sometimes falls asleep in coverage, can also get lost or behind receivers. That's something you can coach. That comes with further experience and just better coaching at the NFL level. There are better coaches in the NFL than there are in the college level for the most part. And then also not always great in coverage against tight ends, but that's because of his lack of size. So I don't ever want him matched up against tight ends, but I don't necessarily want Mike Sanverstill matched up against tight ends as well, because he'll get boxed out too. He's a fairly small guy. And so really, if you're trying to project Gabe Taylor, I think Mike Sanverstill is some good shoes to follow. Like, okay, this guy may be a little undersized, but as long as he's instinctual, he's confident, he's physical, we can work around that. Mike Sanverstill not only excelled in the slot last year, he excelled on the outside. But ultimately, I think Mike Sanverstill is a solid outside corner. I think he's an elite slot corner. Gabe Taylor may not necessarily be as much of a great athlete as Mike Sanverstill, and he definitely didn't play against the same level of competition in college, with Mike Sanverstill playing at Michigan, winning a championship and everything like that. But hey, there is a path to follow. I think Mike Sanverstill is a great example of a guy that's paved the way for the Gabe Taylor types. And then I agree with a lot of those guys just said in general. I think his tape is very underrated. Like, if you actually go and look up Gabe Taylor highlights, if you haven't yet, you'll probably be shocked of how good he actually for real looks. Like, again, some people are just saying, oh, he's just Sean Taylor's brother, so we want him. But I'm not sure how many of y'all have actually gone and really watched this guy. His tape is way better than what people think, honestly. And I think he's literally just only getting held back draft stock wise and chances of succeeding at the NFL level wise just because of his small size in both height and weight. And like, literally, if Gabe Taylor was the exact same player with the exact same testing scores, but he was just 6'2", 210 pounds, literally a 931 relative athletic score. He can keep that same bad bench press, that same vertical, and if he somehow kept that exact same speed, but even just say, because he goes from 188 to 210, you just knock off a little bit of that time from the 40 time. He's still a ridiculous athlete. That's what I'm saying. He's a great mover. The reason his relative athletic score, and again, that's the part that's relative because it accounts for size. He's just a small guy. That's it. But as far as him moving around, he's not what you would think when you hear a 5'8'3". You hear a 5'8'3" relative athletic score, you're like, oh, this guy must be slow. He can't change directions. No, Gabe Taylor can do all of that really well. He's just a really small guy. And now even moving on, even though I did not think the Commanders would or even necessarily should have spent a draft pick on Gabe Taylor, and even though I already knew that he would be available as an undrafted free agent before the draft even happened, so we didn't necessarily even have to spend a draft pick on him. First of all, he has good tape and good traits to work with. And secondly, we still don't have a lot of playable safeties on defense. We have a bunch of strong special teamers in the safety room right now. There's a chance he could actually make the final 53-man roster. It's a really big uphill battle. Again, he's not even signed as an undrafted free agent yet. But there's still at least a chance. Because when you're looking at the depth chart right now, Quan Martin is easily your starting free safety. We know that. And him with 2 healthy shoulders, I can't even imagine how good he's going to be, because he was really good last year playing with 2 separated shoulders the majority of the season, like probably around 80%, is insane. Even that Detroit Lions game, 2 separated shoulders, insane. So he's going to be really good. I think he's going to take another step forward this upcoming season. And then Will Harris is your starting strong safety. I like him. I think he would be a great backup, solid depth piece, rotational guy, but I don't necessarily love him starting at strong safety necessarily. And then you have Percy Butler. I'm not even sure if he makes the team. I don't even think this franchise really likes him. He stands out the most in special teams, especially like punt coverage and stuff like that, but not really good on defense. And then when it comes to special teams, like I already said, our entire safety room for the most part is literally just filled with elite special teamers. Jeremy Reeves, elite special teamer, all pro, but you don't necessarily want him on defense back there as a safety on Sundays. Tyler Owens, love his athleticism, love his potential, still really raw. Elite special teamer, requires double teams on kickoffs and punt returns and things like that. But still not, nuanced enough, instinctual enough to where I trust him on Sundays to go back there and play safety in case there's an injury. Ben Nickel, another guy that I think he was on the practice squad for the most part last year. Another pretty good special teamer. Don't love him on defense yet. And then Trey Rucker, who we just signed as an undrafted free agent, still fairly raw. Another guy that if we had to play him on Sunday, I would not be comfortable. Right now, we really only have 2 real safeties. I'm like, okay, we can work with this on Sundays. But Percy Butler and Jeremy Reeves, I do not love them at safety. So I agree that Gabe Taylor is probably better suited for corner nickel at the NFL level, especially because of how small he is. But there's a way better pathway to making this roster as a safety than a nickel. I mean, the main problem right now that I have with Gabe Taylor is the fact that since he's more so a slot corner, that's a problem. Because we already have 3 really good nickel corners, in my personal opinion. I don't feel like we really need those. You know what I'm saying? You have a starting quality, I think potentially elite nickel corner, slot corner, and Mike Sanford still. He's going to be the starter. Jonathan Jones, who's also a quality starting slot corner that would start for several other teams. He's going to be a rotational piece backup for us. And then Noah Benogany, who was really underrated starting for us last year in the slot. So we have 3 like starting level, starting caliber slot corners right now. So it's like, where does Gabe Taylor fit into that? So sadly for him, the position that he will probably end up being the best at himself is a position that we're arguably deepest at out of this entire roster, literally outside of quarterback. But again, he was a safety in college, and that's where he put some great stats and some good tape up there for us to see. And we have a needed safety. So to the point that I'm hoping that they sign veteran free agent safety Justin Simmons to come in here and start over Will Harris. I still do feel like we have a need for safety, almost as bad as we have a need for edge rusher. So again, that's the pathway for Gabe Taylor to start. But again, I just project him to be a better nickel corner than I project him to be a safety, especially a strong safety. 5'8", 188 pounds as a strong safety is rather insane at the NFL level, man. I just don't see that working out too well. You're gonna have to cover tight ends and things like that, and that's probably one of his biggest weaknesses, of getting boxed out by bigger bodies like tight ends. So it's a weird conundrum. The position he's best at, we're already really deep at. I'm pretty sure there's another team out there that needs nickel corners bad. I feel like that would be his best shot, but I'm still really rooting for him to make this roster, even though we don't necessarily, we need safeties, but that's just not what he's best at. But shouts out to Gabe Taylor on IG. Just a couple of days ago, after accepting the invite, he posted this on his story. As you can see, he said, I said, I'm going to finish this story, not his. And I love the fact that he made sure y'all know I mean, shouts out to Sean Taylor. That's my brother. Love him and all that type of stuff. But this is my story. I'm not just about to sit here and follow in his footsteps and be under his shadow all of the time. I'm here to make a name for myself. And I've really am rooting for and hoping for the fact that he does that as his rookie minicamp. Again, I hope he's rookie minicamp MVP and gets signed, but we'll see, because again, for the same conundrum that I just already gave you, I'm pretty sure the Commanders are evaluating them the same way. We need safeties, but you look more like a slot corner, and we're already really deep there. We'll see. Maybe he can make a name for himself. Maybe he can play bigger than his size and then make the team as a safety. Or, I mean, say, worst case scenario, maybe he balls out as a special teamer, and he's just so undeniable in that way that he makes the team at least as a guy that's going to contribute on special teams. And maybe Tyler Owens is, even as elite as a special teamer he is, maybe he takes that next step to understanding the defense, the nuances, and becoming more instinctual to where he actually plays on Sundays for us, and he kind of moves out the way to give, you know, that extra spot that's available for Gabe Taylor to potentially grab to latch onto this roster as a special teams guy. We'll see. I'm really rooting for him, man. But yeah, man, that's the end of this video. Please get in the comment section. Let me know about everything discussed in the video. Please still find that like button, still find the subscription button, and still find the bell next to that subscription button so you get notification each and every time I release an informative and opinionated videos just like this one. And speaking of Quan Martin, of course, the answer to the trivia question is Jartavius Quan Martin. Y'all already knew that, man. That's the guy we took in the second round of the 2023 NFL draft. That's one of the very few mock drafts, picks I've gotten correct. I projected third round, but I knew we were getting Quan Martin. It just made too much sense and all of that type of stuff. So I wasn't the least bit surprised there. But yeah, man, I really appreciate y'all. Of course, let me know in the comment section how you feel about everything discussed in this video, man. Let me know how you feel about everything. How do you feel about Gabe Taylor's chances of actually making the roster? Where do you feel like he's better suited? Safety, slot corner? Let me know. Let me know how you feel about everything. Do you agree or disagree with any of my points? The advanced stats, anything, man. Let me know if you're rooting for him, all of that type of stuff. And I'm gonna try my best to read and reply to as many comments as possible. I really appreciate y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all later. I'm out.